Excited to have Tanner. Thank you, Ashley, for that. We're excited to have Tanner in person to start off our speaker series. And so before we get started, I would like to bring someone in from Campus Federal. And also remind you, for those of you on the call and those of you here, please register and share your feedback for our speaker series. We're always looking for ways to improve this event. And so please utilize this QR code to go in and take a few minutes to share your feedback for us. We couldn't do this event without Campus Federal. And so before I introduce the speaker, I want to recognize Campus Federal for their support and continued support of this event and sponsorship of our speaker series. We do have someone from Campus Federal here to say a few words. I'm gonna go ahead and invite them up to the podium. Let me grab them real quick. So again, we couldn't do this event without Campus Federal, and we just want to thank y'all so much for sponsoring, continuing to partner with us. And again, if you want to say a few words before we get started, you can go here. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank y'all so much for having us. We are very happy to partner with the LSU Agriculture Student Association for this event. So thank you, and welcome. We are here to help you, just as Tanner's going to talk to y'all today, to help y'all in y'all's adventures. We're here to help you. So anything that you may need financially, even if you're not a member, you can always come and ask us questions. We hope you join. But we do have 2 locations here on campus to serve you. There's one downstairs in the student union, and then also one in between Patrick Taylor and the Gulf Coast and Environment building. I got it right. That's a mouthful if anybody's ever had to say that. So anyway, welcome, and we hope y'all enjoy.
Thank you, and thank you again, Campus Federal. So our speaker series is coordinated by our Ag Student Association, and today we did have our Vice President Zach here. I was going to get him to stand, but representing the organization. But we're excited to partner with them on this this venture and this professional development opportunity for our students. And so without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Tanner Jones. And I'm going to have a brief bio before you come here so we can everyone can know a little bit about your background. So Tanner is an environmental scientist and a GIS specialist with over 5 years of experience. Prior to joining Providence, Tanner worked as a GIS specialist with the National Wild Turkey Federation in Edgefield, South Carolina, and was responsible for creating task-specific maps and providing technical support for field staff, as well as supporting outreach efforts. He earned his bachelor's degree in natural resource ecology and management in May of 2016 from the LSU College of Agriculture. He has experience in wetland delineations and requests for jurisdictional determinations. Louisiana's Department of Natural Resources, coastal use permitting, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, nationwide permitting, and consultations with state and federal resource and regulatory agencies. In addition to his fieldwork and reporting, Tanner provides GIS mapping, data management, application development, and geospatial analysis support for the Natural Resource and Coastal Services group at Providence. That's a lot of words. Mouthful. He also holds a small unmanned aerial vehicle operator certification with the Federal Aviation Administration. I hope I can hear more about that. Tanner continues to stay involved with the College of Agriculture since his graduation by being a mentor in our ag mentoring program. So thank you for that participation, Tanner. And so we just want to welcome you. And again, we thank you for joining us. And so please join me in welcoming Tanner as our January speaker.
All good on camera and everything? All right, thank y'all for the opportunity to come speak today. Thank you, Lindsay, for the invite. Happy to share a little bit about myself and what I've done since I was in y'all's shoes not too terribly long ago. So just, I do a lot of things. Public speaking is not typically one of them. So pardon me as I stumble through some of this. I try to get all my thoughts down. So if there's anything that I skip or go over, this URL or this presentation is a URL, and that we can make that shareable in the chat if y'all want to look at it. So a little bit of repetition. My name is Tanner Jones. I graduated from the School of Renewable Natural Resources in 2016 with a degree in natural resource ecology and management with a concentration in conservation biology. That is a lot of buzzwords on a resume, so it was a good degree to get. I currently work as an environmental and technology consultant for Providence, and GIS, or Geographic Information Systems, is a very large part of what I do. GIS is a sort of a broad term that covers everything from just making a map to data science. It includes, or can include, concepts like machine or deep learning, spatial analytics, remote sensing, database management, just to name a few. So that's a lot of words, basically, right? So what exactly is a consultant? I linked here the dictionary definition. A consultant's just one who gives professional advice or services. But the phrase we like to throw around sort of the office is that we wear a lot of hats. So day-to-day can be a whole bunch of different things. My job title on my business card says GIS manager and FAA certified remote pilot. But day-to-day, I'm basically stepping in and doing whatever needs to get done to address the needs of our clients or my coworkers. So there's a list of some of the different things that if you went looking for a job description to explain exactly what I do day-to-day, you would take pieces of all of those different terms and just sort of add parts together and come up with the whole picture. So for a glimpse into a day in the life, I was putting this presentation together Tuesday evening after waiting in a cypress tupelo swamp for most of the day doing a wetland assimilation project. While we were out there, I was also flying a drone to sort of support and scout out around the area. When you're working in the marsh, places can be tough to get to. So I was flying the drone ahead of time, recording things out in the field, taking pictures, sort of helping with us plan our route to get to the places we needed to get to establish plots, and just doing whatever needed to be done. The day before that, I was in the office all day long working with GIS and CAD on environmental permit figures for a chemical facility expansion along the river. And I was also working on a cloud-based workflow for an internal business need that was essentially eliminating redundant paperwork around the office. So day-to-day does a little bit of everything. Every day is a little bit different. There should be an image here that is not loading. Skip over that and that one. They're just not coming up at all. Should we try a refresh? There it is. So that is what we were doing this week. That is a boardwalk out towards the marsh. Where the boardwalk ends is where we get in the water and start wading. So that's just a glimpse into a day on the job. The other side of it, and what I was talking about doing the day before that, well, this is a simplified version of that workflow that I was building in the office. So two very opposite things. One's sitting at a computer all day, working at the computer. One is up to your chest in marsh water. So I apologize if that got kind of technical or simultaneously was also vague, but it just suffice to say that my days vary wildly and basically just entail doing whatever needs to be done. GIS and general technology have sort of become my bread and butter, and as a result, I tend to get pulled in a whole bunch of different directions. The full span of services that Providence provides, and therefore I get to work on at some point in time, can be found at the link. I'm not going to go into that because I don't really want to give you all a sales pitch for the company, but I do recommend taking a look at it because that shows a list of everything that just our company does. And it can give you an idea of a whole bunch of different job descriptions that don't necessarily fit that's something that you would think of just from getting a degree. So there's a lot of environmental roles out there covering all kinds of media. It's not necessarily just one thing that you might think about when you are looking at choosing your major. The real story, however, is not necessarily what I do day to day now, but how I got there. So back up a little bit, and 2014, 2015, I was kind of sitting in y'all's shoes. I graduated in 2016, and as I went into my senior year in R&R, I had been trying to figure out what to do next and was sort of looking at jobs to apply to. I had a resume ready my senior year to go and started applying essentially while I was still in capstone, which I could have started earlier, but that was when I began. So spring of 2016, I graduated. Didn't really have a job at that point. Still sending out applications, still looking for stuff. I kind of knew what I wanted. I was looking for a decent paying job in private industry that used my degree and a little bit of GIS, but I wasn't sure how to get it. I had a resume, I had a decent GPA, I was willing to work, but I didn't have a ton of experience outside of the classroom. So summer of 2016, still not much luck. Lots of applications out, not really hearing much in return. Finally, in that fall, I got a position as a seasonal technician for the Morris County Park Commission in Morristown, New Jersey. So moved halfway across the country and went to work for small local government in New Jersey. I was doing hiking, trail maintenance, and working on an inventory of all ash trees in the park system, because the park was worried about an invasive species that was getting into the ash trees and leaving the Park Service liable for potential damage. So if the invasive species damaged a tree and the tree fell across the road and caused an accident, the county didn't want to be liable for that, so they'd rather take the tree out ahead of time, doing that sort of thing. As that position was wrapping up in 2016, I should add that was a 3-month position, so it wasn't a full-time thing out of school. It was just something to get some experience and get started somewhere. As that was wrapping up, I got notified about a GIS internship from a former professor working for a nationwide conservation nonprofit organization. I decided to go ahead and apply for that using that professor as a reference, and I landed an interview and ultimately that job. So that was January 2017, and I was an intern for the National Wild Turkey Federation in Edgefield, South Carolina. That internship was slated to last a year with an evaluation period afterwards, potentially ending in a full-time hire if things went well. I spent most of my time there in a sort of a dedicated GIS role, but was also helping support a little bit of field work doing turkey studies with telemetry data. Nothing super fancy, just getting to use the degree and also getting some extra GIS experience. I was also introduced to drones as a hobby and a potential business interest while I was there. So early 2017, things are going well at NWTF. I'm only an intern and don't have a full-time position, but they somehow agreed to send me to a professional conference on the other side of the country, which was a technical conference for Esri, and it's the user conference in San Diego. It's a massive international conference. It's like 150,000 people. It's a week full of just technical workshops. Basically, it's a bunch of map nerds, lots of GIS stuff. I was determined to take that opportunity, make the most of it, and just get as much value as I could out of that. So while I was there, things got interesting. That Monday, I got to the conference, kicked off the conference with a plenary session. Was excited to be there. I'm in San Diego. As we're there, we start getting emails saying that the organization is making some changes. And one of those changes is that there's going to be a new CEO. And the new CEO's first order of business is to downsize and reduce staff. Not exciting news when you're on the other side of the country. So there's a time zone difference here. I'm in California. The headquarters is on the East Coast. So they're going into meetings during the day as I'm going to conference stuff in the morning. But basically by the end of that day, it came out that people were getting laid off. And I'm hearing about it secondhand through emails on the other side of the country. So panic sets in a little bit. It's like, uh-oh, now what do I do? Fortunately, I'm at a conference. There's no better place to network, right? There's people all around me that have interests similar to mine, potentially know about positions similar to what I'm looking for. So I sort of pivoted while I was at the conference, knowing I was probably getting laid off when I got back. And instead of using that conference to fully pursue an opportunity for the organization, which is seemingly going in a different direction, I started using that as an opportunity to see about next steps for myself. So I still went to all the sessions, networked a lot, met a bunch of people, did that sort of thing. So I get back from the conference and, as I suspected, got laid off Monday morning. Went into my supervisor, was like, do we have a Band-Aid to rip off? And they're like, yes, unfortunately, it's not really anything that you could have done differently. It's sort of beyond your control, but it is what it is. It's like, all right, fair enough. So they were nice enough to write me a very nice letter of recommendation. And I had spent the part of the time that I was at the conference looking for other opportunities, obviously, and had actually sent some applications out. Well, within a couple of days of all of that taking place, I had already gotten another interview lined up in Providence. So I get back to South Carolina, the news breaks. 2-3 days later, I'm getting back on a flight to come do another interview here in Baton Rouge. It was a very quick turnaround. It was a very, very hectic week. Lots of life changes. But August 2017, I started at Providence. This coming August will be 5 years. I've been there since. Every day brings something new and interesting, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I'm a GIS person. I had to include a map. One is, here at LSU. This is sort of everything I just covered. One is where I was at here at LSU. Here I was at Morris County, New Jersey, and we can actually zoom in just to give an idea of where that's at. So Morristown is up here. That's New York City. It's a very interesting location. You have things like bear tracks on the side of the mountain, and you get to the top of the mountain and turn around and have nice fall foliage and the New York City skyline. It's not something you really think about in natural resources, but it was there. From there, I went to South Carolina, Edgefield. There's me and a former coworker, Jenna, are very awkwardly standing over a hatched turkey nest, staring into the sunlight, which is why I have an awful grimace on my face for that picture, but that was pretty exciting stuff. And then there's San Diego and the user conference. I've actually been back a couple times since. This photo is from 2019. And then back here to Baton Rouge and Providence. So why GIS? When I was a student, there were a couple things that sort of set me on that path. One of them was math. I graduated with about 40 people, realizing that if you just look at the SEC schools, multiply that 40 times 14, you wind up with about 560 people coming out looking for similar positions. It's competition. It's just a numbers game. Add a couple of years on either side of your graduating class, that number gets much larger. There's only so many positions available. If everyone wants the same good job, then you've got to find a way to stand out. Another thing was Dr. Mike Haller. And I'm pretty sure he was trying to pitch me on grad school when he said this. That didn't quite work on me, but he imparted the idea that to truly advance and stand out, you don't just need to get the degree. You also need to have a niche or a specialty to help you stand out. So that, for some reason, stuck with me pretty well. I had a couple of GIS classes in my undergrad, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. I knew I was good with computers, and I had some background knowledge and physics that made topics like remote sensing kind of click for me. But more importantly, when I looked around the class, I knew most of my classmates didn't like it. It's a computer thing. It's fairly complicated. My degree was in natural resources, which my director now likes to refer to as bugs and bunnies people. We like to be outside and working with our hands. I also enjoy that, but like I said, there's a numbers game there, so I have to find something else that sort of distinguished me from that cohort of folks. So while I was there, that sort of, all of those factors sort of clicked into place for me. I was like, if I really want a chance to like have my own thing, GIS is probably going to be it. So I spent my senior year sort of focusing on that. And shortly after I graduated, I sort of just followed that path and made it my thing. So far, it seems to have worked. So takeaways, this is some of the things that wish I had known when I was sitting in your shoes. Having a degree is good. Having a degree and a differentiator to stand out is much better. Find something you're good at and others don't enjoy and just sort of make it your thing. Do not, under any circumstances, neglect professional relationships with your professors. They know people and have the power to either open the door or close the door for you. Just because you don't necessarily have a great relationship with one professor does not mean that a potential hiring manager is not also going to know that professor and reach out to them and ask what they know about you. So try to stay on good terms with your professors. There are all kinds of jobs out there. A degree just sort of opens you up to exploring different pathways. Network, and network some more. I'm not good at networking. I don't like it, but you have to do it if you want to advance. It's the best way to have your resume get looked at when applying to jobs, is to already know someone in a position that can speak up for you or introduce you to someone that makes the decisions. Referring back to my experience in South Carolina, you can be in a pretty good position and still have the rug pulled out from under you. So don't take anything for granted, never stop networking, and always be at least open to considering new opportunities. Use LinkedIn, but you do so knowing you only get out of it what you put into it. If you just have a profile, it's not going to do much for you. You have to actually put some effort into it. Try to find people with similar interests, people at companies you want to work for, that sort of thing, and be active on it. And your professors might be large proponents of grad school. Mine certainly were. While grad school can help, it isn't always necessary. I may have some disagreement in here because I think there's some bias from people that do have graduate degrees. But in my experience, a high demand marketable skill can be just as valuable as an advanced degree. With that, good luck. I included some extra photos from my time at Providence just for fun. I don't know, how are we looking on time? We're good? All right. So there's me setting a drone up for field work. This is a project for West Grand Terre. It was a restoration project. This was an old LDWF facility on the beach that was isolated and sort of left abandoned and got neglected. So our company got hired to help oversee the demolition. So that's the before shot. Here's the after shot of the same thing. This was mostly an engineering project with a little bit of environmental oversight. My role on it was just documenting the project via drone. So that was kind of cool. We ended up doing a video for CPRA with it. This was along a gopher tortoise project in Mississippi, which probably doesn't look like much. Can y'all see anything in that photo? There is a snake. That was a very large rattlesnake on the pipeline. That was the biggest I've ever seen, and he did not care that we were there. There's the gopher tortoise, up close and personal. This is some more stuff from drones. I went out, and this is a pipeline right-of-way around a construction project. So they wanted us to go out and document their impacts along the right-of-way. So you can kind of see the transition from basic imagery in the background to the high-res stuff we were able to capture with the drone that actually is current while the project's ongoing, which was kind of cool. And then we've also been doing some vegetation monitoring stuff with the drone, where we go in and classify what's in the impact area and sort of break it down into what's open water, what's vegetation, that sort of thing. And the agencies so far have been on board with us doing that for estimated vegetative cover, as opposed to going out and just doing an eyeball estimate. Because if we do it that way, we can get the entire footprint instead of just a single representative plot. There's a marsh creation project viewed from above, just a little unique perspective. And this was just some waterfalls, which you don't really see much of in Louisiana, but we were out on the right of way and it rained on us. So it's just a neat photo. And that is about it for me as far as the presentation goes. I'd be happy to answer any questions, anything of that nature. Yes.
So, you have a lot of technical skills in your time. What are some of the more important soft skills that you have? Like interpersonal relationships or writing or speaking, or what do you use in your day-to-day most often?
My day-to-day, I mostly get by on the technical stuff because there are so few people that enjoy the technical stuff, to be perfectly honest. The soft skills definitely do come into play. Being in the field, working as a team, that comes into the picture. The other thing is dealing with clients. You get people that don't necessarily understand why they're paying you to do the things that you're doing, especially when it's something that's regulated and you're helping them respond to an agency. So being able to take the technical concepts and sort of help break them down a little bit and walk someone through and show them the benefit of why you're doing the thing that you're doing can go a long way. Yes.
I have more kind of technical questions, but I use drones and GIS stuff a lot in my research. Is that a Mavic in the picture?
It is a Mavic Premium.
What kind of, what software do you process in drones?
I use Drone Deploy. It's basically a full one-stop software. You can do the flight planning, set your waypoints, choose your altitude, and basically let the drone run itself. I know a lot of people in the industry like to use Pix 4D.
Yeah, that's what I use.
I've never really gotten my hands on it to test it. I just kind of stick with Drone Deploy.
So for this vegetation cover, do you use like a different type of sensor for that?
No, so we just did pixel classification. Most of these areas, you can't really see it between those two because those are two different job sites. But when they go out and dig up and lay down a pipeline, you're usually looking at bare soil. So it's pretty easy to distinguish brown from green and come up with a number that way. Yes.
Speaking of the drones, how did you get it to want to do that? And once you have to get an FAA certification, or what qualifies?
So when I was at NWTF, the senior biologist was flying a drone for a hobby and had sort of picked it up and turned it into a business on the side, just kind of going out and taking requests to get unique, aerial views of different things from friends and family and that sort of stuff. So he sort of let me help tag along with him and get sort of familiarized with it. And then when I came to Providence, we had someone else that was a drone pilot and was doing most of that for the company. And he left within my first 5 months of being there. So someone needed to step in and do it. And I had been exposed to it and was interested. So I volunteered and jumped into it. The FAA is on board because you are in airspace that is federally regulated. The last thing the FAA wants is someone flying a drone too high and causing a collision with a plane and basically being a crash and a headline. So you have to go through basically a light version of a pilot training program and take a test to show that you know enough to not crash and respect airspace regulations and that sort of stuff. And that is called Part 107. That's Code of Federal Regulations. I don't remember the title, but the part of the title is 107. So it took a little bit of background, studying, that sort of thing to be able to pass that test. But once you do that, from there, it's pretty straightforward. That's one of the fun things. We go out and work in a bunch of remote places. It's much, much nicer to send the drone to get to the tough to reach area than to go walk on foot. And inevitably, someone always has questions about it because it's just cool. It's new technology that's an emerging field. Yes.
So this website presentation is so impressive. Is this something that you use in your daily work with a client?
So this presentation was done in using Storymaps, which the company that does everything GIS is Esri or ESRI. And they have sort of transitioned from focusing on desktop software where you buy a license, you have the software on a single machine, to moving to the internet and a cloud environment. So they have a bunch of different purpose-built applications on their website. So when you get a license for Esri, you get access to all of those. This one is Storymaps. It's made explicitly for making presentations sort of like this. I don't use this too often. I typically use one called Fieldmaps, which is designed for going out and collecting data in the field. There's another one called Survey 123, which is form entry. It's sort of like Qualtrics or Microsoft Forms or Google Forms, where you can sort of build your questions out and put survey logic in and do that sort of stuff. But the reason I like to use that one is because it's Esri and it's GIS based. It will incorporate location data into the survey form. So you don't just have your answers to the survey, you also have a location tied to them, which when you go to plot, you can look at where people are answering your stuff at. So when we do a wetland delineation, we have to record sample locations. So we go out and instead of doing handwritten notes and bringing those back to the office and scanning it and also having a GPS to record a point, then you have it all right there together. It's all bundled in one spot. Yes. I do not use QGIS. I've always had either someone paying for my Esri license, or I spent the $100 to get a personal use license and did it that way. I know a lot of people prefer QGIS because it's free, but that's just been my outtake so far. Yep.
Thank you. But I also wanted to get permission to share your presentation.
Absolutely. That's why we left it as URL.
I have a question about the marsh land restoration. Where do you think we are?
That's a loaded question. I don't think we're doing enough. I think we could be doing more. I don't think there's enough like open public knowledge of what goes on and what the processes are. It's a very complicated system that even though I'm in private industry and I work on it day to day, I know I don't know enough about it. So if you go to the general public, then how would they know enough about it to fully comprehend the processes that are going on there? I don't think it's going away anytime soon.
How close did you are with
With CPRA?
CPRA?
It depends on what the job is and who they award the contracts to and who our teaming partners are. Sometimes we work really closely with them. Sometimes we don't do much with them at all. It's sort of project by project. Yep.
Machine and deep learning
Mhm.
stuff earlier. What are some like specific applications or things that?
I have not done much with them. I just know they're in that GIS world. I've seen some presentations of where they were using it in bays and harbors in the Northeast, taking bathymetry data across the entire bay and using it to isolate shipwrecks, which I thought was pretty cool. I've seen some in the utility company along transmission lines where they will fly drones or helicopters along, basically just recording video along the length of their assets. And rather than going through and having somebody watch those, they'll use machine learning to recognize problems along the power line, that sort of thing. So there's a whole world of possibilities out there, and it's not something that I dive into, but it's something I'm aware of. Right? Is that it for questions?
Well, thanks. And we appreciate your writing.
Not a problem.
Thank you guys for coming. I think that's it.
Thank y'all.